Hello and welcome back to another 7-in-a-Box video demonstration. I'm Dan Fleesick. Today I'll be showing you the Break Your Own Geodes activity from the Geology kit. This one is one of my favorites because it's a real treasure hunt and you never know what you'll discover. A geode is a hollow rock that's filled with crystals on the inside. These crystals are usually clear quartz, but there's tons of possibilities and every single geode is unique. You can also find amethyst, calcite, smoky quartz, really just about anything. These geodes have been sitting in the ground for tens of millions of years, and you'll be the first person to see what's inside. I think that's pretty exciting, and I can't wait to get started. This kit comes in 2 boxes. One small box that has a chisel and safety glasses, and a milk crate with 4 boxes of geodes and a hammer. Each box of geodes is a different type, and it has a label with the name and some interesting facts about them. All of these geodes are mined in Chihuahua, Mexico. I'll put a link in the description to another video on the mining process that I think is really interesting, so go check that out after watching this one. One thing to note is that around 90% of these geodes are hollow and will contain crystals, but you might find 1 or 2 that are completely solid. These will be much harder to break, but they could still be really cool. Some solid geodes show really nice bands of color, and they can be cut into slices to make beautiful pieces of jewelry. There are 3 methods that you can use to break your geodes, and I'll show you how to do each of them. I'll also show you a 4th method that requires special equipment, so stick around for that at the end. But first, some general geode cracking tips. Number 1, always remember that whoever is breaking the geode and any spectators need to be wearing safety glasses at all times. You want to protect your eyes from any flying rock debris. 2, you want to find a nice hard surface like a concrete sidewalk, but make sure that it's okay if the surface gets damaged, because these geodes can be very hard sometimes and they can even damage concrete, so we don't want to damage anybody's nice flooring. Finally, be patient and start with gentle taps with the hammer. We don't want to completely smash the crystals inside, we just want to use enough force to crack it open. The first geode we'll break is a Chihuahua Trancas geode. These are mined from right at the surface at the Trancas mine in Chihuahua, Mexico. These geodes are relatively young and they're only 11 million years old. They contain mostly clear quartz, but they can also reveal calcite or fluorite inside. So let's crack one open and find out. For this one, I'm just going to use the simplest method and just hit it with a hammer. So here all we want to do is gently tap it, and if it doesn't break, just hit it a bit harder. Remember to wear your safety glasses too. There we go. Let's see what we got. So this looks like a lot of quartz crystals to me and a bit of chalcedony. So these pointy clear ones, that's all quartz, and this more white smooth looking stuff I believe is chalcedony. But it's hard to say by just looking at it, so we'd have to do some mineral tests to make sure. But you can see there's lots of crystals in there. This was a good break. We got lots of pieces. It's nice and hollow, and that's generally what you can expect with method number 1. Next up is a Crystal Canyon geode. These are mined in the Copper Canyon area of Chihuahua, and their age is actually unknown. They also contain mostly quartz and are known to often have sharp points and quartz scepters. Weirdly enough, these are also known as candy apple geodes. To break this one, I'm going to use the rock and a sock method. This is basically the same as the first method, except we put the geode in an old sock. This helps to stop pieces from flying away, so it's a bit safer and cleaner. And I would definitely recommend this method for younger kids, especially because they tend to hit these as hard as possible and you'll get pieces that fly everywhere. So this is a good way to contain all of that. This particular geode I'm actually very excited about because if you can hear it, there's a loose crystal in there. So that's really cool. I'm very excited to see what it is. So I'm going to try to hit this extra gentle. Alright, and the method here is the same as before, so we're just going to start off with gentle taps and increase the force until it breaks. Oop, there we go. Let's see what we got. So here's what we got. Really, really beautiful. This is a great example of a geode because it was a very thin wall and the whole interior surface is covered in crystals. These look like quartz to me, but it's always hard to tell without doing any testing. but they're all extremely sparkly and shiny, which is awesome. And I think this piece right here was what I heard clanging around in there. It's awesome. So it looks like a piece of the geode shell that broke off when it was still forming, because you see this side has some sparkly crystals on it, and then the other side is bare rock, but there are a few little crystals that grew on the underside. So I do think this broke off mid-formation and then pieces started to grow on the bottom of it. So that is really, really cool. Beautiful geode. The third geode type we have is the crystalline Bravo geode. These are mined right from the surface like the Trancas geodes, and they can contain quartz, chalcedony, calcite, and amethyst. So there's a lot of variety, which is pretty exciting. They're often filled with hardened mud that can sometimes be cleaned out to reveal some really nice crystals. The third method takes more time and patience, but it has a better chance of splitting the geode cleanly in half. For this one, we're going to use the chisel. We want to hit the geode in the middle using the chisel, and then rotate the geode a little bit, hit it again, rotate it, hit it again, rotate, hit it again. The idea is to create a line that goes all the way around the rock, and the geode should break neatly into two pieces along that line. If it hasn't broken once you've made it all the way around, just repeat the process using harder taps with the hammer, and this can take a little while, so you have to be patient. Sometimes it'll work real quickly, sometimes you got to go around several times. So we'll just start out real gently, and this can also be difficult because the geode is, a circle, it's a sphere, so it's very hard to get it to stay in one place. It wants to move around a lot. Look at that. We might have a solid one. Huh. Alright, well, let's try going this way then. Oh, there it is. This is just super thick. Ah, okay. There we go. So once I found the actual hollow part, I did get two pieces. So here's what we got. It was a little difficult to cut this one in half because it was very thick, and part of it was totally solid. So I had to find the hollow part first, but once I did, I got it in two pieces and then a little fragment as well. But this one is super, super nice. Look at that. See, there's lots of real big crystals in there. See, right at the top there, there's a couple of really long clear quartz, which is super nice. So as you see, this method can be a bit harder to do, can take a bit longer, but it generally will produce fewer pieces, which can be good. This can be a little tricky because obviously it's not flat, so it wants to roll around a lot. Oh, look at that. I didn't even need to do the line. I mentioned these sometimes have mud in them, and you can see a little bit of that there. See, there's kind of some discoloration. I think that may also be iron staining, which is common for quartz, but there's a little bit of discoloration in there, which is fairly common for this type of geode. Remember when you're done to always clean up your area, because we don't want anybody stepping on any sharp crystal fragments. Finally, we have the Lachoyas coconut geodes. These ones are pretty popular because they can contain a wide range of crystal structures and mineral types. You really never know what you'll get. They can contain clear quartz, smoky quartz, amethyst, hematite, calcite, galena, and even more. These geodes are mined from deep underground, around 200 feet or more, and they're very old. They're around 44 million years old. Think about that for a second. This rock has been waiting far underground for 44 million years, and you'll be the first person to see what's inside. That's amazing. For this geode, I'm going to show you one of the ways that the professionals open them. This is a diamond saw used for cutting rocks and minerals. With this, I can cut right through the rock and slice the geode neatly in half. So let's see what's inside. This one turned out to be even different than the other ones, and it was mostly solid, but still has a nice pocket of crystals. This is cool because it's got agate. So you see the little lines in there? This is all agate, and that could be cut into something really, really nice. And the crystals inside look beautiful too, nice and sparkly. So this is a really, really neat specimen. I'm glad I cut this one. Here's another of the same type of geode that I cut before, and this one's even more different, and it's got, looks like a little bit of chalcedony down here, and amazingly enough I cut it right through the center of that, so what are the odds of that? But see how it's nice and sparkly, lots of tiny crystals, good white color, and this shows a lot of variety too, because it's got clear quartz, which is in the middle. We've got white quartz on the top here, larger crystals, and then some kind of yellowish green material that I'm not really sure what that is. So a large amount of variety in this one. Well, there you have it. Those are the 4 geode types in this kit and 4 different ways to crack them open. I think the huge variety that you can see in these things is really amazing. I hope you learned a bit from this video and are as excited to see what's inside yours as I was with mine. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.